Hello folks, welcome to another one of our Vapor Chief Before You Buy videos. In this video I want to discuss expectations of what you want when you buy a steam cleaner and what to expect when you buy a steam cleaner. And that's very important to keep everybody happy and to make sure that you're getting the right type of equipment. Now we get questions all the time about different applications and can it do this and can it do this, and I don't mind answering those questions directly if you give us a call, but we prefer that rather than someone buy something and then try and use the machine and it not work up to the way they expect it to work. And 95% of the time, it's not the fault of the machine, it was the expectation of the person buying it that the machine didn't perform because you're not using it correctly. Now again, we're working with an electric machine at 120 volts. So it can't be a pressure washer. It can't be cycled for a long period of time. If you expect the machine to blow steam nonstop at maximum pressure for 5-10 minutes straight, which people have expected that, it's just not going to be the case. It's impossible. I've used this example in some of the other videos and in explaining to people over the phone about what a steam cleaner does. It's not a pressure machine. It's not going to act like a pressure washer, and you are going to lose pressure pretty much instantly. No matter what we're rating our machine pressure-wise, that's maximum pressure, but you're not going to keep that pressure as you use it. It's going to be a drop, and it's going to be a fairly big drop right off the bat, but your working pressure can still be very, very good for certain types of cleaning applications. Now, using a steam cleaner is like letting air out of a balloon. The air wants to escape out of a balloon much faster than you can blow it back up, and that's how a steam cleaner works. It wants to escape. It wants to rush out of the boiler as soon as you pull the trigger, and that's the reason for the pressure drop. But because we're working with 120 volt electric and we can only give the heater a maximum wattage of 1800 watts on a 15 amp circuit, and we do a 1750 watt heater, which is basically maxing that out, we can't make steam as fast as you might want to use it. So if you expect the machine to blow steam at maximum pressure for even 2 minutes straight, it's never going to happen. You're always going to get a pressure drop, and we've explained pressure drop in different videos. But that's where you have to kind of curb your expectations and realize that the machine can't be cycled, meaning that your finger's on the trigger for 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes straight. There's going to be too much of a pressure drop and you're not going to be able to use it. Steam cleaners are made to be cycled on, let recover, wipe up what you've just cleaned, and then the pressure regenerates and you go on to clean another area. Now, a lot of the trouble that we've seen where people have miscalculated the expectations is where they want to do big floors. They want to clean carpets and use it like a carpet cleaner. They want to try and clean, for instance, in car applications, they want to clean frame rails, rusty, dirty, mud-caked frame rails on a car. Cars that have mud all over them, where they might have seen a diesel steamer take care of mud on a car, where an electric steamer just can't do that. And the diesel machines or the propane machines can blow steam for 5 minutes straight and you don't notice a pressure drop. Well, that's because you're basically using a gigantic boiler and you're lighting a fire under it. We're not doing that with a machine like this. It's just comparing apples to oranges. So when you're about or you want to buy a steam cleaner, especially at 120 volt electric, you have to ask yourself or call me and ask me what you want to use it for. Can I use it for a minute, minute and a half, and then can I stop the machine, clean up the dirt that I've just released and let the machine regenerate its pressure? If you can't do that, then a steam cleaner is not for you regardless of what pressure you go up to. Now, I've had people ask us about our low-end machine, the 75 machine, which is starting at 75 PSI, and they want to do the same kind of unreasonable expectations of what their cleaning issue might be. And then when I tell them, no, you can't do that, they immediately want to jump to the 100 or the 125 machine thinking it might take care of the same issue, but it's not going to do it. No matter what kind of pressure we could give this machine in 120 volt electric, and at some point we would push the machine way beyond its component capabilities, and that's why you don't see gigantic pressure out of our machine, because we can't do it with 120 volt electric. It eats up too much amps, it puts too much stress on the components, and we're not going to do that. You would have to get into not only a 240 volt machine, you'd have to get into a 3-phase electric machine to get that kind of power. Now, not too many No house is going to have three-phase electric. Some commercial companies are not going to have three-phase. Your garage at your house is not going to have three-phase. And the price of those machines are just astronomical. So we're trying to balance everything to give you a really good machine at a decent price and to give it as much cleaning capability as possible. But you as the consumer has to know that certain cleaning applications and what you expect out of the machine, it just can't do. Now, there's going to be things that you're going to be pleasantly surprised that, wow, my machine can do this and I didn't know it was going to be able to do that. And then there might be things that you're disappointed with where you try and push the level of the machine higher than it was expected to do. And if you find out that you can't do it, you say, okay, well, the machine can't do that, that's fine. But don't fault the machine for that. Now, our return rate on our steam cleaners is less than 4%, which I think is pretty good in any industry. Having a return rate at less than 4% is extremely good. And we take pride in that because we qualify people before they get into their machines. We qualify you whether a 75 machine is good for you, a 100 machine is good for you, a 125 machine is good for you. We won't oversell you or undersell you. We try and get you into the right machine. And if there's an application that you ask us about that we feel it just can't do it, I'm going to tell you, it can't do it. Don't buy the machine. You're going to be disappointed. You're going to want to return it, and then nobody's happy. So if you have a cleaning question or an expectation of the machine before you just go online and buy it, please call us. Let us kind of walk you through what you want the machine to do, and it will also walk you through on how to use the machine correctly as far as cycling it on, letting it recover back up to pressure, and that time frame, that's a good time frame of how long you can use the machine and then let the machine rest. Now, a good rule of thumb, with this machine or any one of our machines, if you use it for a minute, minute and a half, you'll be good. Now, you're going to get a pressure drop, and we explain pressure drop in another video, but your working pressure is still going to be good enough where most cleaning tasks are going to be taken care of even with the pressure drop. Now, after a minute and a half, the pressure is going to drop even more, and then your recovery time is going to be longer. So we've had people that say, well, I tried to use the machine for 4 or 5 minutes, and then eventually I just couldn't use it anymore, and then it took way too long to recover. Well, 4 or 5 minutes on an electric steam cleaner, especially if you're using it wide open and requesting the maximum amount of steam at one time, that's asking the machine to do too much. Again, it's 120 volt electric. We can only give it so much wattage on the heater, and that's going to be my machine or any of the competitors' machines. So I'm also helping them out by, if you find this video is not helping you or not answering your question, you want to run to one of the competitors and see if one of their 120 volt machines is going to satisfy you, the answer is still going to be no. Then you'd have to think about 220 electric, you'd have to think about 3-phase electric, you might have to think about a pressure steamer that's worked on propane, you might have to think about a diesel steamer, and those machines come with pros and cons as well, and we discuss pros and cons in another video. So we just kind of want to make sure that your expectations aren't high enough on a 120 volt electric machine to where when you finally get your machine and you tackle a gigantic task, that you're not going to be disappointed by it. So if you have any type of cleaning application that you think might be a challenge for the machine or you want to know about it before you buy it, please give us a call and we'll walk you through it.